Hello everyone, welcome again. This is the tank we're gonna talk about today. The Chinese medium tank on tier 6, the Ox. This is the main prize in the current event. I mean the main prize for most of the people who is looking for achieve the tank. We have two tanks in the current operation as usual. The first one is T28 mod 1940, which is here. As you can see, this is our good old friend, because we used to have this tank in the game, and for all the people who play long enough to remember this tank that we when we had it in game, you should know that there's nothing to bother. Seriously, this is tier 4 tank with actually no armor at all. Is a completely paper tank with a howitzer that reloads 8 seconds. On tier 4, 8 seconds is a death sentence for you, especially if you have no armor. So the only fun of playing this tank gonna be just staying in the bush somewhere and reloading most of the time when the rest of the team gonna have fun to battle. And of course the other tank that we have is the Ox, this one. In this video I would like to bring you some information about this tank and give you something to consider if you want to buy the tank just for a design. Of course it's up to you, you can buy it, but if you're looking for a premium tank to buy on tier 6, that medium premium tank, I have alternative for you, which of course I'm gonna talk about in this clip. So let's start from parameters. In here we have 85mm gun, quite common because the Ox is basically the copy of type 58 in Chinese Tech 3, and of course T-34-85 from the Russian Tech 3, and all of them they have 85mm gun as a top gun. And the parameters, there's not much to talk about because the parameters are exactly the same in all cases. We have 128mm of penetration, 172 on premium shells, and 43 on high explosives. Alpha damage 200 points, 170 on premiums, and 300 on high explosives. Aiming time 4.6. It's not that bad actually. It's quite good gun for a medium tank. Dispersion 0.355, quite accurate gun. DPM 1605. And the reload time 7.48 seconds. Like I said, typical parameters of that gun in all cases. Gun depression 7 degrees and elevation 20. The speed, as you can see, we have 33 tons of weight on this machine. Engine power 550 horsepower, that gives us power to weight ratio on 16.7 horsepower per ton, which is quite good. As you can see, average speed is about 32-35 kilometers, maximum 55, and reverse 20 kilometers. That makes it quite effective medium tank on the battlefield. If you look at the tank, of course that design looks fantastic. Designers or wargaming designers make a really good job here. It looks much better than for example the previous one, the tank from the previous operation. That was, let me see, here, Icebreaker. That was quite easy designs. As you can see, there was not much details, but this one looks really fantastic. You got lots of animations. You got those animated horns that sticking out at the beginning. We have that's like a nose, the bull nose, and the circle here, and lots of details. As you can see, that looks really nicely done. And we have other animations, for example, like when we shoot, we have a smoke coming out of the nose here, and of course the steam coming out from those pipes on the engine. But this is just cosmetic and probably just to entertain our teammates, because when we shoot, usually we in a sniper mode, so we can't see, basically can't see it. So if you look on the design, yeah, that looks pretty nice. If you look at the parameters, now we're supposed to talk about the armor. Well, this is armor profile of the Ox. As you can see, nothing spectacular, and if we compare Type 50 Ox with Type 58 and T-34-85, as you can see, the silhouettes of those tanks, according to the armor and parameters, you know, if you look at the color, that looks almost the same. With the small problem here, because we ain't got this reinforced armor on the front. So if you look on the details, the parameters looks like that. 88 millimeters on the hull armor, 87, 81. On the turret we have from 133 to 99, 129. Here on the sides is 350, and here is a huge, on the top of the turret is a huge weak spot with 61 millimeters only. So those places, this one, cheeks probably here with 98 millimeters, and all the lower part, I mean upper and lower part of the hull, whole hull basically, gonna be so easily penetrated. As you can see, also there is a turret ring here, very weak spot, because we have only 50 millimeters of armor here. So you're gonna get lots of damage. Sometimes even high explosives gonna penetrate this part. Plus, of course, the turret ring could be damaged, and then the turret get blocked. So basically, all the lower part of the tank is a big weak spot, and of course, on the top of the turret we have another big weak spot with 62 millimeters. If you look on the side, turret has 90 millimeters here. There's a bit of space armor, but not much. It's around 100 millimeters of armor altogether. Sides 57 millimeters. There is no space armor, nothing like that. Just 57 millimeters of pure armor, so easily HE penetrated. On the back, 61 millimeters here, 68 millimeters on the lower part, 61 as well. And here we got 70-80 millimeters, let's say, effective armor. So as you can see, the armor that doesn't really exist on this tank. Similar situation like in, for example, like Type 58. But Type 58 has a slightly better parameters. Do you remember, if we look at here, we have 62 millimeters only on the hatch. In here there is 91, so this is much better. Of course, turret, if you look, 137 millimeters. In here there's 97, but really small part, only this part here. From here we get 221, and all the sides, they are much more angled. The only problem is here 91 also, again, is, don't forget, it's only 50 millimeters in ox. So here we have 91. It's not as easy to high explosives. Of course, here 87 millimeters around, so this part of the tank is very similar, but the turret is much stronger than in ox. The Russian T-34-85, similar situation. As you can see, 95, 94. So all those cheeks, they're quite, but the cheeks here, they're much smaller than in ox. Ox got those cheeks a bit bigger. So if you compare them, and again here that was 90 millimeters like in Type 58. So as you can see, the Ox has a slightly weaker armor than the original Type 58. Here we can compare all the parameters of all those tanks that I mentioned before. In the first row we have Ox. In the second row is Type 58, the original Chinese medium. In the third row we have T-34-85, the Russian medium. And in the last row there is alternative that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, another premium tank, T-34-85 Victory. As you can see, both Chinese tanks and Victory, they are quite similar. The only difference is Russian T-34-85, because his gun is slightly different. He has slightly longer reload and higher penetration. Apart of that, all the parameters are exactly the same. As you can see, DPM in all cases is similar. Of course, just because of a longer reload, DPM on T-34-85 is slightly higher, 1720 against 1827. But apart of that, there is only 1% difference between all the other three tanks. So as you can see, nothing significant. Rate of fire, like I said, 913 in 902, 91. So again, about 1%. As you can see, everything is exactly the same. Aiming time here, Ox is the worst, 2.13, but it's 208, 208, 208. So it's again about 1-2% difference. Again, not really significant. Dispersion, pretty much the same in all cases. The only difference is in power to weight ratio. 1853, 1882, 1982 and 17.33. Again, in this case the T-34-85 Victory has a bit worse power to weight ratio, but the ground resistance they are slightly better in his case, so everything is quite balanced, and all of them they have about 54-55 km/h maximum speed. So as you can see, all those tanks they are very similar. And why I talk about the alternative T-3485 Victory, because there's one significant difference between Ox and this one. Ox is a collectible tank, and T-3485 Victory is a premium tank. And the credit making is the main factor that I'm talking about here, because Ox as a collectible doesn't have such a high credit coefficient like a premium. In Victory you have 182% of credit coefficient, so this is the strongest point of this tank. And in my opinion, this is gonna be much better option if you want to spend the money, if you want to buy the tank. If you want to buy the premium tank, of course the Victory is gonna be better option than Ox. Well, since you decide to buy this tank, you may need some advices how to play it. Basically, you're gonna play this as the whole of this line, like the T-3485, like Type 58. The same way is like all range medium tank, typical medium tank. You have average, everything is average here. Average speed, average penetration, average damage, average gun depression. Everything is average in here. Apart of a bit of lack of armor, but of course, hey, it's a medium tank. It's not a heavy. It's not designed to fight face to face with the heavy tanks. This tank is designed to support. So your power is in the speed, in a good penetration, and destruction of the enemies. So if you want to buy this tank, is like I said, it's a perfect all-rounder. Should be easily played. It's one of the most player-friendly medium tanks on tier 6. That's no doubt, and probably one of the most popular. Same like T-3485, which is probably the most popular tank on tier 6. And if you, like I said, if you want to desperately buy this tank, you can have it. Of course, you can buy the. But for those money, let's say that this way. Like I said before, I can offer something like a substitution. Instead of that, you can buy T-3485 Victory, which is a premium tank and has a slightly better, much better credit coefficient than this one, and gonna be probably a bit cheaper. Or if you want to buy some premium tank to make credits and do not spend that so much money, you can wait for the offer for Cromwell, Cromwell B, for example, which is also similar to this one. There is no even basically no, it's slightly different. There is no armor whatsoever on Cromwell, but it has better penetration, better gun depression. There is about 15 or 16 degrees of gun depression. Alpha is similar, DPM is higher because the reload is quicker, and it's way faster than this one, about 10 km/h faster than this one. So in my opinion, if you want to spend money or gold, actually money in this case, so I would suggest to hold yourself and then wait for T-3485 Victory or Cromwell B. That would be much better option for you if you're looking for a premium tank to make credits. Of course, if you're a collector, you're desperate to buy this tank, up to you. And that's it. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I give you some useful information. If you want to see other tank reviews, you can browse the channel, find something for yourself. Of course, if you like my videos, you can subscribe to the channel and stay tuned with me. And that's it. Like I said, thanks everyone for coming. I hope I'm gonna see you next time. Take care.